Okay, we're recording.
Okay, hello again, everyone. For those of you I didn't mention earlier, I am Rachel Robbins, one half of the Esti Sisters, and that's Lynn in the middle there waving. She'll be doing most of the presentation. And then Lynn, I think you're going to start the slide deck, right? Okay, so hopefully you're all in the right place. That's my sense of humor. For the HOP Masterclass, so we're doing Home Care 101, which we're super excited about. We thought we'd get into each product and talk a little bit about it, how you sell it, and get you guys more comfortable with it. And those of you that are new, welcome. This is going to be a great class. Lynn's an awesome speaker and a really great, amazing Korean skincare line. Okay, so we're going to just briefly touch on who we are. For those of you that don't know us, Lynn and I, we're going to talk about AO Medical. You've heard that possibly, obviously in the invitation here. TOV Medical. We're going to deep dive into the HOP product line. And for some of you, you may know the products as Sculplla. So that's the former name. They've changed it probably about, I want to say maybe 3 years ago. We're also going to touch on the needle-free filler facial that was a foundation for how this whole home care line was built. And then we're going to get into all the specific items of the home care. And we're going to talk about the daily regimen that you would be pitching to your clients and obviously using on yourself as well. And then we're going to cover some before and after photos of our actual clients that we have taken utilizing the home care products. So Lynn and I are both estheticians. We have been in the business for Lynn 21 years, me about 19, and we happen to be sisters. She's 13 months older than I am. And we've been working hard, doing our stuff for years. And just about maybe 2 years now, we formed a partnership together called the Esti Sisters. And we are co-owners and we are authorized reps and educators for AO Medical. And we also do, and specifically Lynn does, a lot of business coaching and also mentorship programs for other estheticians. So we've done a lot of skincare and still are doing skincare. And we just, noticed that we both had a strong passion for a shift, a passion for helping other estheticians out. And that's kind of how we forged this partnership. And it's been really wonderful and rewarding. So AO Medical is, first of all, they are co-owner of TOV Medical. And on the skincare products that you'll be seeing tonight, there's a little on the bottom of the box, there's TOV. And TOV is the manufacturer of the products that we're going to be talking about today. AO Medical is actually co-owner, but also a distributor. So they not only distribute and co-own HOP, but they also distribute numerous other Korean skincare lines that are phenomenal, like O2 Derm, Oxygen Machine products, Dr. Esti, Duomore, Skin Culture, and some of you are really familiar with those as well. And if you're not, we will have future classes, and you can also reach out to us and talk to us more about what else is out there and available to you. AO Medical is like a one-stop for all your corrective skincare needs. So unlike other companies, you've got here's the things that you can get. We actually have for a particular condition, we have a number of lines that we can choose from to, let's say, satisfy acne or anti-aging or whatever the needs are. So it's a really a great situation that we have. It's kind of like an upgraded Cosmoprof, except everything is super high end, very well vetted, very high-end products from Korea. So then I want to talk about TOV. So remember I said on the box, the little bottom of the box, there's TOV, that's the manufacturer. So they are very well known out in Korea, and they are producing this HOP line. They started with one product and then have evolved from there, and they continue to introduce new products that are part of this line that each in and of themselves are powerhouse, like they're standalone products, cutting edge delivery systems, they provide ingredients that don't need injections. So we're talking about volume enhancing, topical neurotoxins to smooth out lines and wrinkles. There's no downtime associated with any of these products, and yet they're delivering filler-like results to our clients. The results are super long lasting. We have been using them for over many years now, but together, probably the last 4 or 5 years, seeing cumulative results. So the more that our clients are using these products, the better the results are. So we're super excited to talk to you about all that today.
Yeah, I'm going to deep dive into the products, the ingredients, key benefits, key ingredients, how to sell. So first up, we want to start with actually the basic or the common denominator for the entire HOP line, which is poly L-lactic acid, otherwise known as PLLA. So polylactic acid is basically the same ingredient that you'll find in dissolvable sutures, very safe, been used for a long time, and in the well-known biostimulator, or several biostimulators, but one particular one, I'm not going to name the name right here, but it actually is a filler that has been around for many, many years. It's a filler that stimulates one's own collagen production and has been well known and documented for use in AIDS patients, for example, to help stimulate their collagen. So there are two basic types of filler out there. There is hyaluronic acid-based fillers like Juvederm, Restylane, Voluma, for example, that when one gets injected with the hyaluronic acid, it creates that plumping, immediate plumping. And then it lasts 6, 9 months, maybe a year. And then the clients need to get additional filler as it reabsorbs into the skin. With the biostimulating fillers, they work differently. They actually stimulate one's own collagen. So while initially you get a little immediate plumping because they put, an actual liquid into the skin, over time, it's stimulating one's own collagen. So results start to develop over the next several months. So the benefit of that is the results will last for years. So it costs a little bit more, but the results last for years. So what's really awesome about this is that with the HOP product line that Rachel and I were trying to figure this out. It's about 12 years or so that the HOP product line has been previously called Sculplla in Korea, but 12 probably years or so, brought to the US maybe 6, 7 years ago, something like that. And when it came here, the Koreans really wanted to figure out a way they would prefer not to use injectables there. So they figured out a way to use a particular patented technology to deliver the polylactic acid into the skin to stimulate collagen and get these natural looking, long lasting results without injections, which is really awesome. So the basic shift from Sculplla, for those of you familiar with Sculplla, as opposed to HOP or House of PLLA, is that the last couple of years we reformulated for the US market. And the House of PLLA line now has twice the amount of polylactic acid and twice the amount of growth factors. Those are the two actual common denominators in all of the home care line. So that's really awesome. And so for us, so if you're wondering and you're trying to do a little bit of research, you're probably going to find more information on Google, for example, with Sculplla versus HOP, but that's because it's a newer name for the US market, but completely amped up, really high performance driven product line for the US market, and very safe as well. Okay, so why the HOP line? What are the key benefits for using the HOP line? First, it's a clean Korean skincare line. So a lot of you know, and a lot of you, have heard about Korean skincare. It's not just trendy or really exciting and really hyped up. The things that people don't understand is that there are a lot of US product lines, for example, but we would say, as we know, as estheticians, not all are equal, right? So even though there are a lot of Korean skincare lines out there, while Korea is on the cutting edge, so to speak, in terms of development of skincare products, ingredients, innovative technologies, of course, all companies are not equal. So the AO Medical has partnered with some of the best, most renowned companies in Korea. And one of the things that we were most excited about is because we are working with and partnering with AO Medical, who is co-owner of Lydia, who's the owner of AO Medical, co-owner with TOV Medical. They've reformulated, meaning not just putting extra polylactic acid and growth factors, high performance ingredients in the product line. They remove things that in the US that we don't want. For example, artificial fragrance, parabens, things like that. If you tend to look at some of the other Korean skincare lines out there, you'll find that when they come to the US market, they tend to stay as is, meaning they're not reformulated for the US market. So in Korea, while they're really big on a lot of really high performance ingredients, anti-inflammatory ingredients, wound healing ingredients, so lots of great ingredients, they love their perfume. They love, some other ingredients that are not necessarily bad or have been proven not to be bad, but still in the US, our clients don't want them and we don't want them. So that's really awesome. So we really call it a clean Korean skincare line, the HOP line. It's the only product line that we know of that really deep dives and incorporates the polylactic acid throughout the entire line. You might find some other product lines that have a product or something using polylactic acid, but what's really important to know here also is that there are many manufacturers or labs that create polylactic acid, and AO Medical, along with TOV, partners with the two top labs in Korea to make sure you're getting the best quality, which is super important. Because if we have somebody, using polylactic acid as an injectable or a suture, for example, it needs to be top quality, high end. It can't just be polylactic acid in general. So that's really important to know. Again, we have the key ingredients that hold over. So when you're thinking of the HOP line, think of performance, anti-aging, treatment product line, that all the products, what they have in common, again, is this polylactic acid and growth factors. So collagen stimulating, anti-aging. So again, we're going to keep saying that because one of the purposes for you guys, being here and learning is like, how do I market this to my clients? How do I know what makes this different from other anti-aging product lines? So this is one of the key features, okay? Also, affordable price per ounce. So sometimes you'll see, and we're going to talk about this because there are different sizes. So when we get to some of the products, you'll see, 4-ounce sizes, for example, and you might think, that might seem a little high price per, for that product. But when you look at like a serum on the market today, most serums that are really high performance are going to be anywhere between $125 up to maybe $350, $400 per ounce. Okay. So when you look at the price per ounce for these Korean products and what they deliver in terms of the benefits, the results, and the long lasting effects, you're going to see that they're actually affordable. So that's what we want to share with you as well, and what you want to communicate to your clients. There always are quantity specials for this line, which means, sometimes there's a special that being buy 5, get 1 free, buy 10, get 1 free, buy 15, get more free. So that helps to increase your profit margins. And once you start selling the products, you're going to see that your clients are going to fall in love with them because they're going to be getting results that they're not finding elsewhere. So when you start to buy in bulk, and I don't mean bulk of 30, but maybe eventually, but when you start to, get those extra free items, not to mention the free gift with purchases that we have with AO Medical. And for those of you not familiar with that, we're more than happy to set up a call and talk about specifics in terms of, what it means to be partnered with AO Medical. And then we also have unique delivery systems, which is something very different. When we talk about like hand-free serum, we're going to talk a little bit about the oxygenating effect and how it penetrates the polylactic acid. So that's very unique as well. And then also very few professionals. Again, if you search, there are not many professionals using this product line, which is really great, right? Because there are a lot of product lines on the market where you can have almost everybody in your town practically using 1 or 2 or 3 main product lines. And then something that you've probably come to notice is that a lot of companies now, if they're not selling direct to consumer on their own websites, they're selling on Amazon or eBay. Or you'll have large retailers, discounting and selling, and you don't have to worry about that with the HOP product line. So it's something that's going to be very unique, really boutique-y, instead of you having to create your own products. And there are some people in here we know that have their own products, but for those of you who don't, and you want to have something that's very unique, very difficult to find, and clients are not going to find it discounted, this is a really awesome benefit of this product line. Okay, so first we wanted to start with the needle-free filler facial, even though it's not home care, but the reason we're starting with this is because this was the first product that came to us from Korea that was carrying and delivering the polylactic acid for us. And that's why we said with the HOP, with this class, we're building on the needle-free filler facial, because when clients come in for this treatment, they are getting that initial plumping. They are getting this, collagen that's being stimulated that lasts for quite a few weeks. I'll go through the details here. But ultimately, now that we've gotten more and more products that have come out for home care over the last several years, now we can actually extend the life of the results that you're getting from the needle-free filler facial. And we're going to share with you guys that in and of itself, if you are just doing home care, your clients are going to get fabulous results. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. For those of you who haven't seen it, there are a lot of you on here. We have some people, and I'd love to just hear if you guys will just put in the chat. We know that you guys answered whether or not you're using the needle-free filler facial, but I would love to know how many of you are using home care but not needle-free filler facial, or home care and needle-free filler facial, because we didn't ask that. I just asked if you were using the needle-free filler facial. So just curious to know that, because some of you may be coming to AO Medical and using other product lines, for example, not having come in with the HOP. So when you get the needle-free filler facial, this is what it looks like. The kit, exactly like the picture, okay? And it can be a little bit confusing because you see these little syringe things, right? Well, the little syringes aren't meant to be, they're not actually needles. They're actually just ways to draw out the product. So they're just a really cute, an applicator, so to speak, how to pull the product out of the ampule. So the needle-free filler facial, again, was something that came to us probably 6-7 years ago. We call it the needle-free filler facial. It's the only one of its kind that I know of in the US. So if you hear, the movie stars, you hear Georgia Louise, who's an esthetician to the stars, using the needle-free filler facial term, this is what they're talking about. This is the original baby. I don't know of any copies, which is great. No copycats. So in addition to polylactic acid that's in here, okay, polylactic acid, by the way, I forgot to mention this. In addition to stimulating one's own collagen, oftentimes people will get an awesome brightening and lightening effect to this facial as well. So for those of you dealing with hyperpigmentation, just anti-aging in general, your clients will see that added benefit. So there's a patented mask that it comes with, and I'm not going to really open this up here. We just did a complete class, and I just did a brand new demo this week to share with you guys. But basically, with a sheet mask, I show you how to cut them up and place them on the skin. And it's basically a patented hydrogen mask, encapsulated mask that's going to penetrate the polylactic acid into the hair follicles. Okay. So it's left on for about 30 minutes. Results are going to be immediate. You will see a plumping of the skin. Okay. And then over time, it is going to help stimulate one's own collagen. So these tend to either be done in a series or at minimum monthly as clients are on maintenance. But if clients are on maintenance monthly and they start home care, they're going to continue to see not just maintaining, they're going to continue to see actually cumulative results from the treatment and the home care, which is great. So Forbes magazine actually called this one of the top 10 must-have bridal facials. So we're going to show just a couple before and afters of the needle-free filler facial here. And one of our gals, who happens to be one of the Esties in our group, she, at the time when she came here for training, she was 29 years old. And we were like, okay, we need, models for all the facials we were doing. And so initially we were like, well, she's 29. She really doesn't need a like filler facial, so to speak. I mean, a lot of filler. But when we did it on her, you're going to see how extra, just more youthful, plump, rejuvenated that even somebody in their late 20s can look. So that's why it would make a great facial for somebody, even in their late 20s, for a bridal facial, a mother of the bride, etc. And again, no downtime. So this can be done the week of the wedding, for example. So again, immediate filler-like results. One treatment can last up to 6 weeks. A series of treatments, 3 to 5 treatments, 7 to 10 days apart, can last for up to 6 months or longer when they're on HOP home care. And just one thing I want to mention for those of you who are working with us, we have many of you who are working with us as your rep. We recommend actually alternating another facial that we love called the V-line facial. We'll be doing a class on that in October, because when you're working with this facial, this is all about plumping and creating volume. But most of us, as we age and our clients, we have this sagging and drooping. So to alternate every 2 weeks with like a V-line facial where you get firming and lifting, it just provides this really awesome effect to the skin, anti-aging effect. So just keep that in mind. You don't need to know that now, but we've got lots of tips and tricks to really enhance the overall results your clients are going to get. So that's the kind of the launching product or protocol that we had initially. So next, I just want to show you a few before and afters that we have. The top left here is our mother. This is one needle-free filler facial, you guys. And the reason that I would recommend next time for her doing like the V-line facial is because you see that even though she got a lot of plumping, it looks beautiful. Instead of just hitting her harder with a lot of plumping, I would love to do some lifting now. You see the little jaw area there, a little bit of the nasolabial fold. So plump and lift is really great together. Now you will notice that she does have some lifting, because when you're adding volume to the forehead, to the temples, under the eye area, it will create a natural lift. Okay. So one of the benefits of the needle-free filler facial, for example, in the HOP products, as opposed to getting filler, is that when clients go in for filler, usually they're not injecting the entire face, right? They're doing lips, upper lip, maybe nasolabial folds, a little under the eye. But really, when we lose collagen as we age, we're losing it everywhere, right? So you really want to give this nice youthful effect all over, not just focus on one area. That's where it tends to look really unnatural. Now, can you combine with somebody that's doing fillers? Of course you can. You can use this to help just, again, even out the appearance, make it look kind of more natural and even. Same thing with home care. It's going to extend the life of not only this facial, but people that are getting injectables as well. The top right, we've got the gal that I was telling you about, our 29-year-old at the time, Alyssa, who you can see that even though I wouldn't like say, hey, she needs filler, but look how much like just more vibrant, more youthful, less tired that she looks after one needle-free filler facial. So that'd be great for like, you know, a bridesmaid, a bride, whatever. Bottom left, we have our wonderful Ma, and she was our model for the Las Vegas trade show. Bottom right is one of Rachel's clients. And again, these are just one needle-free filler facial to show you the dramatic results that you can get. And that's why we really highly recommend you guys doing before and after photos with your clients with each facial treatment that you do, especially with the needle-free filler facial. Also, I want to just tip, so I don't forget, I want to make sure that you guys are taking photos with people standing or sitting up, because when you have this plumping effect, you want to see fully the lifting effect that you get. And if somebody's laying down, you don't get that full effect. So it's not that you can't take photos laying down, but I would still strongly suggest for you to do them sitting up and standing up as well. Same lighting, same facial expression, looking forward. Okay, now we're going to dive into the HOP home care. Yeah. Okay. So we try to do this split screen to show you guys. So hopefully you'll watch. I'm going to be showing you what the products look like in the upper corner as well after I go through each of an individual product in the slide. So first off, this is a product that, if I can remember, Rachel, when we came out beginning of this year for the skin prep, this is Pileo. And for those of you who don't know this, Pileo, because some of the products contain the word Pileo as opposed to PLLA, Pileo means filler in Korean. So if your clients or you are like, hey, what's that Pileo thing? You know, is it just a cute name? It means filler. Okay. So the skin prep is awesome. Okay. It actually has glycolic acid, a little salicylic acid. So it is an exfoliant, but it's a daily exfoliant. Now, again, keep in mind that all of these products, again, that I'm going to talk about, all the home care products contain polylactic acid and growth factor. So that's kind of a given. Okay. So the unique benefits are going to be, it's a leave-on, very hydrating leave-on formula. So I'm going to just put a little bit, I'm going to show you, it's a mousse. So I'm going to pump this here. So it's really decadent. Okay. Lightly massage it into the skin. I love to use this twice a day, and it leaves my skin so hydrated. It's safe enough for not only all Fitzpatrick levels, but even rosacea skin and sensitive skin, which is very unique because usually we struggle when we have clients with sensitive skin, we struggle with being able to find them something to gently exfoliate, right? So this hydrates and exfoliates. And that's also because it's got the polyhydroxy acid in there too. So anytime you have polyhydroxy or lactic acid in a product, it's going to tend to be more hydrating as well. So calms the skin, provides dewy hydration. Again, we've got these little micro bubbles in here. And it's going to just help the daily refiner, the benefits of a daily refiner, it just to keep the skin just looking and feeling its best. It also has, when we get down here into the ingredients, snow mushroom, which is a natural form of kojic acid. So if you have clients that are maybe, whether or not they're on a retinol, for example, and you're like, hey, I don't really think they need something else for exfoliation. I actually, as I've been increasing in my years with skincare, I'm actually finding less of a need for actual retinols, you know, being a little bit too aggressive and drying. And I love the use of a daily skin prep that is going to be focused on hydration, gently exfoliating, but then also for people that have hyperpigmentation issues, this is definitely going to be a must because of that natural form of kojic and the snow mushroom. We also have sea buckthorn in here with good source of your B vitamins, vitamin C and E and lycopene. So great antioxidants. You're going to have another extract that's called green caviar, which is really great for, again, smoothing rough skin. Again, another ingredient that really helps with wound healing. So this is why, again, it's going to be very beneficial for all skin types, including sensitive skin and rosacea skin. And then chamomile. Chamomile is where you get your natural form of azulene. Azulene is another ingredient that's going to be really great for sensitized skin. So while you may think, hey, it's really heavily focused on sensitized skin. The beautiful thing is that while it's a daily refiner, it's gonna exfoliate like we want gently, but it's gonna add all that hydration, and it's so balanced and buffered that it's safe for twice a day use, minimum once a day, but for all skin types. So we really, really love this. You could use this in the treatment room. However, it is a leave-on. So if you were gonna do this, it would be something that you would do maybe with a sensitized skin at the end of the treatment, just to leave it on. Otherwise, this again is a phenomenal home care product. Okay. So next we're going to talk, and by the way, I'm going in order of application. Okay. We are going to touch upon later, for those of you who are familiar with the Hevatox line, I'm going to talk later about how that gets sandwiched in here. But for now, I'm just keeping it HOP focused, and we're going to start with us. So we're looking at our Cavi serum, which is our next product. And this is probably one of our most favorite products because it has the most amount of polylactic acid of all the home care products. So if you're going to give your clients one product that you really want to boost collagen with, and that's all they can afford to start, and you want to maximize that, you're going to start with the Cavi. It's also the product that we recommend sampling the most too. And at the end of the presentation, I'm going to talk to you about how do we sample and how do we sample for retail. Okay. So the key benefits for the Cavi PLLA are helps to maintain optimal cellular function, firms, lifts, and plumps with continued use because of the biostimulating polylactic acid in such a high concentration, minimizes the appearance of fine pores, and that is because when you're working with polylactic acid and it's stimulating collagen, it is going to smooth texture, minimize pores. Also, like I have here, minimizes scarring. So that is why the polylactic acid products, the HOP line, even though we say anti-aging line, this is going to be a fabulous product line for your clients that are dealing with post-acne scarring. Okay. There's very little. I know people are trying microneedling and trying, radiofrequency microneedling, all these different peels, all these things to help to, smooth out and refine these scars. And still, some of them don't budge much. You get a little bit, or you have clients that are contraindicated. Hara Fitzpatrick's, sensitive skin, right? So to be able to have these products, the polylactic acid in the home care of the HOP line, it's naturally going to minimize pores, fine lines, wrinkles, and the scars. And again, it has the most PLLA of all of the HOP products. So on the right here, we've got our key ingredients. And by the way, like we were just a reminder, Rachel mentioned, for those of you who hopped on, we have a lot of people who hopped on later. So please put your full name. And if you are interested in the ingredient deck, to let us know that, what your email address is, because then you can have these slides, you can print them out so that if you want a reference, like, hey, just trying to remember, like, what were the key ingredients for these or the key benefits for the different products, you have them available. Okay. So first off, we have the caviar extract. Penetrates really deeply into the skin, helps to increase firmness and elasticity in and of itself. We've got this oxygen carrier. So I'm going to do a little demo here for you guys. Because I've already exfoliated, the skin's going to be really prepped for the Cavi serum. And you put, I would say, probably a good 2-3 pumps on the entire face. Okay. And so you gently massage it into the skin. And over the next about 30 to 45 seconds, you're going to see that this starts to plump up. Not just plump up, sorry, it's going to bubble up. It's going to actually look like hydrogen peroxide, but it's not hydrogen peroxide. Okay. So it's going to give this great bubble action. I'm just foaming a little bit here. And so I tell my clients to apply it liberally, face, neck. It can be used on the décolleté. It can be used on the hands, okay, to help stimulate collagen there. So that's another really great point, is that all of these products, you want to encourage your clients to bring it down the neck, bring it to the décolleté, and use on their hands. We know for a fact that the two giveaways are going to be that neck, décolleté area, and the hands, right, for aging. So have you ever seen the movie stars that get so much work done on their face and their neck and they look great? They look so many years younger. And then you see close-ups of their hands and you're like, whoa, right? So definitely remind your clients about the hands. So once you have the bubbling up, the client is going to massage in lightly. And sometimes you'll notice that it rebubbles. And then I let it rebubble for a little bit. That's the oxygen carrier that's penetrating the polylactic acid into the follicles. Okay, so a very unique formula. Again, our polylactic acid. We've got growth factors in here as well. We've got some peptides, and peptides, by the way, are basically amino acid building blocks that help to also rebuild damaged skin, damaged areas. We have hyaluronic acid in the form of sodium hyaluronate, which gives the skin volume, helps to hold, right, and retain water. We have niacinamide, which is B3, okay, and nicotinic acid, very effective in restoring the skin's, well, it's many benefits, but it's great for redness. It's great for restoring the barrier. It's very supportive of improving the appearance of enlarged pores, uneven tone, fine lines, dullness, and again, the weakened barrier. So B3 is awesome. And then last but not least, we've got and these are just key ones, by the way. Normally what you guys are going to find is when you read the boxes, the HOP boxes, you're going to find there's even more key ingredients. And some of the products, we even have a hard time picking out key ingredients. I kid you not, like the new, we have a new Hevatox eye cream that has like 30. We counted 30 like amazing ingredients in there. So that's something else that's very unusual. Many product lines will highlight like, oh, a hyaluronic acid, or we've got like some niacinamide in here, or some vitamin C and E, for example, right? But this product line just includes so many awesome ingredients, again, to be helping. So it's not just the polylactic acid or the growth factors that help stimulate the collagen. It's going to be other ingredients that are going to help with skin rejuvenation, wound healing, working with hyperpigmentation. So it's a very unique combination. And the lotus leaf purifies, tightens pores, and also refines the skin. So again, this is why it's going to be beneficial for all these people that need support with uneven skin tone and texture as well. Okay, now we've got one of my favorite products. I love them all, but this was probably one of my favorites. Right after the caviar was the Promoter Repair Cell Moisturizer. So initially, up until a year ago, all we had was the normal dry. I mean, actually, it didn't even say normal dry. It was a normal dry formula. We now have an acne oily prone formula, and people have asked, like, what's the difference between the two? Basically, the acne oily formula has less of the oils in it and also more of the ingredients to support wound healing and the antibacterial components for acne skin. Okay. So you have two formulas now. Okay. So, and they also have two sizes. So you have a 50 ml size and you have a back bar size, which is a 200 ml. But a little tip, when your clients fall in love with this, they do save about 50% if they end up buying the large back bar size that you sell. You twice, you mark it up, you're twice your markup, right? From what your wholesale cost is. So just to let you know that you can sell the large retail, the large sizes for retail. There actually is a special now that AO Medical has going on, but you can definitely do that as well. So I'm going to put a little bit on my hand and show you this. And then I'm going to show you a little kind of example here that's really cute. So here. So you're going to see this. And initially, Rachel and I, you're like, wow, that must be the snail mucin in here. So it does have snail mucin, but actually the part that's doing all of this, the sticky part, is something called natto gum. It's actually like something like 10 times more binding of water than hyaluronic acid. So this is amazing. And you think it's sticky, but it's not sticky. It actually goes on and feels so luxurious in the skin. I just love it. Super decadent. So the benefits of the Promoter Repair Moisturizer supercharges your skin, again, with a whole slew of high performance ingredients that we're going to get to in just a second. Beneficial for all ages. So just like Rachel and I talk about this, Rachel spent many, many years in California. Some of the states, I'm in Wisconsin, start really early with some of those injectables, right? Because prevention, so to speak. Well, how nice if you can get clients on even just a moisturizer for preventative. So the cool thing is that if you have clients that, let's say, are dealing more with oily acne skin, they're a little bit younger, you can get them on the Promoter Repair Moisturizer that can still have all those anti-aging benefits, prevention, right? But also supportive for their acne oily condition as well. So again, we've got two different formulas. Next helps visible firming of, here, I got a little mark on here. I'm not sure where that came from. Helps visibly firm and tighten skin as well as reducing wrinkles and scarring. Again, helps to improve skin texture, and again, with intense hydration. So the key ingredients, again, polylactic acid are 4 growth factors. We have the natto gum, talked about that. The snail mucin, and I just want to mention, in case this comes up, because occasionally it comes up, we do have it listed on the AO Medical website that no snails were harmed in the production of, or the, I should say, the collection of the snail mucin. So what snail mucin is if when you think of a snail and it's got its shell, its outer coating, right, that protects it, underneath it's sliding slow and gliding, right? Well, it leaves this film or this mucin filtrate, okay, that gets collected once it passes over a thin screen, okay? So that's collected and filtered. And that's what's used in the skincare products. Okay. So the snails aren't like, nothing's happening to the snails. They're not hurt. So just in case that comes up, because you're going to have clients maybe ask. Okay. So basically it's a natural form. It has hyaluronic acid, glycoprotein, copper peptides. It's super great at fighting against premature aging. It actually encourages oxygenation of the cells. That's why snail mucin in and of itself is super great for acne skin, because it has this antibacterial, antimicrobial component properties to it as well. Also helps to repair damaged skin, which is aging skin, compromised barrier, acne skin. Any of these corrective skincare clients that we're dealing with would benefit from using one of the two formulas. Also contains an allantoin, which is promoting cell renewal and again, helping to repair damaged tissue, and also helps to fight acne-causing bacteria. Then we have a patented ingredient that HOP has. It's called Dermaclara, and it's a special extract that's very soothing, very anti-inflammatory, very effective for atopic dermatitis and psoriasis. Okay, so this is really cool. So for those of you who have clients that are dealing with those conditions, you can sell them the moisturizer to be very helpful and not just soothing, but helping to repair, which is really amazing. So that's going to be really good. So we do know some other Estes that are using it successfully with clients that have eczema and psoriasis. So just to let you know that. Volufiline, and you're going to see this in the Caviar has the PLLA has it, and also the eye repair cream. So the Volufiline is actually something that helps to stimulate adipose tissue. What is that? Fat loss. Actually, as we age, we lose volume due to fat, whether it's in the cheeks, whether it's in the under the eye area and the lip area as well. So having the Volufiline, which is a patented ingredient, it helps to stimulate one's own adipose tissue, which is really awesome. Then we have the ingredient called black fermented royal jelly powder. And this is this particular type of royal jelly powder is the only one that's considered functional in terms of, these type of benefits. So its nutrient content can boost collagen production on its own, helps to hydrate the skin as well, raising the skin's moisture level and helping to reduce wrinkles. So you're going to find that also in another product that we're going to talk about in a few slides. So another really amazing ingredient. Okay. And I'm not sure why I have something is anybody seeing marks of blue in my screen, or is it just me? I have no idea where they're coming from. Okay. Next, we've got theotaurine, repairs cell damage, inhibits haze-induced oxidation of the skin, again, helps with inflammation and enhances the skin's barrier function. So again, lots of greatness for all skin types, people with compromised skin issues. And then another ingredient you're going to see, and I would say almost all of the products, like a ton of Korean skincare products, contain an ingredient called Centella asiatica extract. Okay. It's actually considered a wound healing ingredient. A medicinal ingredient in Europe. It's Gotucula. So if you want to know what its, the actual name is, that we know it more familiar, we're more familiar with, a rich source of amino acids to soothe compromised skin and also improving hydration. So then we've got key benefits and ingredients, and this is of the collagen gel. So you guys are most familiar with the collagen gel with the Time Master Pro. So this comes in your Time Master Pro set, whether you're using it back bar or retail. This was reformulated in the last year. It used to be more of a clear gel, and now it's a little bit more opaque. It's still lovely. It has a little bit more moisture and hydration to give a little bit more slip when you're working with the Time Master Pro. The key benefits for this ingredients is that also first and foremost, why it's purple is because it contains azulene, which again, we learned that it's from chamomile. It's extracted from chamomile plant. It's antioxidant, anti-inflammatory ingredients. It's naturally antimicrobial, anti-acne, soothes irritated skin. So prior to having the acne oily version of the promoter repair, if I had clients that were looking for something and they had really oily skin and or very sensitized skin and they wanted something to help be anti-aging but to calm and soothe, I was recommending the collagen gel. So you still have that as an option. So I guess if someone had a lot of redness in the skin, like super maxed out, really super stressed out rosacea, and they wanted anti-aging, the collagen gel still can be, meaning you guys can still promote it or retail it for clients with more aggravated rosacea, but that want something to calm and soothe, but still be anti-aging. Okay. Also, it does have another patented Bision N. This is a complex that we put what it includes there, what types of root extracts. But again, in and of itself, it has antibacterial, antifungal, antimicrobial properties. And then it's also, like I said, great use for a conductive gel for ultrasound devices or for microcurrent devices that need a water-based product. Okay, now our eye lip product, love, love, love this, comes with this wonderful little tip applicator. So I'm just going to press here, show you guys what it looks like. I would say like a half of a pump would be suitable for both eyes, no problem, and even a little left over for the lip area. So the benefits again are to plump up fine lines, crow's feet, for example, increase fat stores in hollow areas, hydrates, leaving the skin looking soft and firm. And it also doubles as this lip treatment because a lot of your clients are wondering, what can I do to plump up the lips? And we're talking above the lips for those clients that have those fine lines and wrinkles, maybe from smoking or puckering or using straws. So for the lips itself, very safe, and also for above the lip. Again, the active ingredients are going to be the polylactic acid, the growth factors. And then also you're going to be hearing this a lot more in a new product line that AO Medical has, and in a couple of our favorite Dr. Esti products like the Rejuvenating Ampule. PDRN is salmon DNA. It stimulates cell growth in tissues, speeds up wound healing. It also increases the metabolic activity of the skin cells, and helps to produce collagen in and of itself. So again, you're going to find that not only are we using polylactic acid to stimulate collagen, the HOP products are incorporating a lot of other ingredients that help to do the same as well. So that's why it's very unique. We don't just use one product or rely simply on one ingredient. We rely on a lot of ingredients to work synergistically together to deliver unparalleled results. And then again, it has the volufiline in here, which is creating and filling in the hollows. So I want to mention here so I don't forget, because now we know we have a new eye cream that has our topical neurotoxin in it for tightening and firming the lines. And people wonder like, well, when do I use which one? So for me, if you have clients that have volume loss, and if you look at under my eyes, hollow, I do not have puffy under eyes. I never get puffy under eyes, always deep, deep. So if you have clients that need volume, not only to work with fine lines and wrinkles with volume, the HOP eye and lip repair cream is going to be amazing. Now, because I also want to work on fine lines and wrinkles, I'm going to be using both the Hevatox one that has the topical neurotoxin in it as well. But I'm simply letting you know, like if you had to choose one or the other, most of us are going to be using both. If somebody simply had puffiness and didn't need for additional adipose tissue to be created or additional volume under there, they could go ahead and just simply use the Hevatox line that's going to focus, or the Hevatox eye cream that's going to focus a lot on depuffing, works on tightening and firming, and works in hyperpigmentation. Okay, so just to give a little bit of feedback there, I know that that comes up a lot in terms of what to use when. Okay, so now we have the stem cell mist. This actually was the first home care product that was available, and that was primarily because this is the main product that activates the encapsulated mask for the needle-free filler facial. So this is wonderful. So this, a lot of people think, oh, this is considered a toner. It's actually not a toner. However, that being said, for those of you who love toners and you're like so familiar with like misting yourself right away after you've cleansed in the morning, you for sure can do that. Okay, I do, because I just feel like it's such a lovely product. But this thing in and of itself is packed full with amazing ingredients just by itself. So it actually is used more at the end to seal in everything. Okay. So the key benefits: assist with reducing fine lines and wrinkles, again, because it's packed with all these anti-aging ingredients. Gives a radiant, glowing complexion. So I love to use this throughout the day as well as a little pick-me-up. Great for travel. So think of all your clients that travel on airplanes. Dehydration. I travel a lot and internationally. And, you know, when you get to your destination, you're like, whoa, or even like on the airplane, just sucks everything out of you, right? So this, by the way, comes in 2 sizes now. This is a 4-ounce size, and you can also get it in a 1.7-ounce travel size for your clients. So it's nice to have those different sizes available. And so I usually sell the larger, but you are going to have clients that want a travel size version that they can just throw in their little, you know, Ziploc carry-on. Improve skin texture. Results build with continued use, as does with all of the HOP products. And again, can be used right after cleansing, or you can use it to seal in the rest of your products and use throughout the day as well. The active ingredients are going to be the lotus stem cell, which gives vitality to the skin and forms a really nice protective barrier. It has the hydrolyzed collagen in it. again, which relaxes and helps with tired and dull skin, adds hydration, and that adds that glow, that dewiness to the skin, and also your polylactic acid and your growth factors. So lots of other great ingredients in here as well, like caviar too. So again, like Rachel mentioned in the beginning, the products were actually made that if you have even one product, it's a powerhouse anti-aging product, just one. But synergistically and used together, the more you layer on the polylactic acid and you have these other ingredients, that's where the clients are seeing this traumatic changes in their skin week after week, month after month. Okay, so now we're moving into the sunscreen. So I'm going to start with our first sunscreen that we had, and this is called the HOP Sun Cushion SPF 50. This happens to be, while it does have titanium dioxide, it still happens to have a chemical sunscreen in it. So just to know, for those of you who are, looking at, pure all mineral versus not. And that's simply because to have this type of elegant formulation, it's really hard to have it be with an all mineral formula, although it's something that we've requested and asked them to look into. So just keep that in mind. So when you open this up, you pull the little blender sponge out. And what's really nice about this is that nothing really sticks on the blender sponge. Like when you're using it, it's all absorbing into the skin, not absorbing into the sponge. And I'm going to share with you at the end when I talk about sampling, how I actually sample this to clients. So when it opens up, there's going to be a little foil that you peel off. And then this, let me show you this here. This has a soft cushion with product. And so you're going to just like pat, pat. And when it goes on the skin, it's very lightweight, very creamy. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about the key benefits and the key ingredients then in it. So it's a very lightweight formula. It's not going to feel heavy. It's not going to feel tacky, not sticky at all. So clients love it. And actually, if you have male clients that are dealing with a lot of rosacea, a lot of redness in their skin, you'll actually know that some of them don't mind using this because it's such a light color. It really just blends into their skin tone really well, but it mutes a lot of that redness in the skin. So it minimizes the signs of both aging, but due to the SPF 50, takes care of UVA and B rays. I will say this, that because it was the only sunscreen we had a couple years ago when I went to Greece, my daughter and I, that was the only sunscreen we used on our face, and we were there in August. And we didn't get any extra sun. We were really, really well protected for using that as our main source of sunscreen for our face and our necks. Provides, again, a natural glow, not only minimizes redness, but helps to even out hyperpigmentation. And it automatically does adjust to skin color. Now, I'm going to mention this. It is available only in one shade. However, for those of you familiar with this product initially, it's gone through 2 revisions of 10% increase in color. So initially, it was quite light, but now twice it's gone 10%, 10%. So it really covers pretty well a Fitzpatrick 1 through 3. We're working on a color, one extra tint that will cover more of a Fitzpatrick 4 or 5. It's simply a matter of trying to find the right combination so it's not too orangey, or, the darker skin tones, some pull a little more red, some pull a little more blue. So it's trying to find that right combination. So they are working on it, just to keep that in mind. It also has, I also let my clients know when I'm selling this, that it basically takes the place in many cases of a foundation. I basically say it's an SPF, anti-aging, sunscreen, and BB cream all in one. So Rachel and I call it like a Photoshop finish. And so when we talk about how to sample the clients, I actually put it on one side of their face so they actually can see how dramatic and how beautiful of a change it is from, the side not being covered. So we'll talk again about how to sample that to your clients, but it's a beautiful, very simple product. So clients really love the fact that it can, take the place of a foundation or concealer, and in making sure that clients can put it around their eyes. I will say this, a lot of chemical sunscreens, and because it has a little of a chemical sunscreen, those typically would irritate the eyes. I will tell you that when I use this eye cream, the sunscreen around my eyes, I don't have any irritation. And again, because you're just blending it, it's not like really goopy or really watery. So the clients can use it as an under eye concealer without having any of that eye irritation. Also, it has the sponge itself is antibacterial. And a quick little tip is that when your clients start to feel like it is being used up, they can simply take like clean tweezers or a clean knife or something like that and flip it over, and they will get at least another month left of the product. So let them know. Clients love it when you give them tips on how to extend the life of their products, right? So that's a nice tip. It contains titanium dioxide, polylactic acid, all your growth factors. It contains niacinamide and peptides. So again, a lot of really great anti-aging ingredients. So it's really multitasking, not just an SPF for you guys. Now we have, drum roll, this is one of my favorite products. I was so excited when this came out because I'm really huge about all mineral sunscreen. So this came out, it now is available in 2 sizes. Initially, we had the all mineral SPF 50 that was available in just 5 ounce. And hang on one second, guys, here. Just gotta take a sip. Okay, thank you. All right, so the all mineral sunscreen, which when you put it on, it actually goes on surprisingly for an all mineral sunscreen, even though it goes on white because it's not tinted. When you massage it in, it does not leave any white cast. Okay. Might be hard to see with the glow here of the lights, but I will say for sure, we know this. It works through a Fitzpatrick 5. If you see it's leaving a white cast, one of 2 things is going on. You either put too much on or the skin is heavily hydrated. So when you finish, let's say a needle-free filler facial, you've already have product left on from the needle-free filler facial, then you continue on with your treatment serum, your moisturizer, right? So by the time you're putting your sunscreen on, you're going to be like, wow, they have a lot of product. The skin is super hydrated. So at the end of that treatment, you might see a little extra white sheen on the skin, and that's why. So just a reminder, when you're doing your before and after photos, recommend doing that prior to putting on your mineral SPF at the end, because you don't want to have your photo look like, wow, you really took care of some extra hyperpigmentation, or, you know, you're going to see this kind of a little bit more of a glow with a little more of just a little bit of a white cast, perhaps. So you want to make sure you take your after photos prior to putting on the sunscreen. And that includes the same thing with this one, because if you want to show a client the improvement in redness or a client the improvement in hyperpigmentation, you want to make sure that they actually see what it is prior to you putting on a tinted sunscreen or the all mineral white cream, right? Okay. So created for face and body. So even if you're selling the sun cushion, we still want the clients to use this down the neck, the décolleté, and the hands. Okay. So usually clients are getting both at the minimum. They're either getting this one by itself or I'm adding the 2. Rarely are they just getting this one, because again, I want to make sure that they're using this on their neck, their chest, and their hands. So it's an antioxidant enriched mineral sunscreen with titanium dioxide and zinc oxide. Also protects against blue light, which is great. SPF 50. And then again, it has its polylactic acid, the growth factors. It has the black fermented royal jelly that we talked about earlier that also helps with, you know, stimulating new collagen, repairing the skin. So that's in here. And then our Damascus rose water is in here as well. And like I said, it's the finish is a very dewy, moisturizing, hydrating finish. We really, really love it. And again, ideal for Fitzpatrick's 1 through 5. Oh, sorry, here again. Okay. This is new this summer. I'm going to share this with you guys. For those of you who are not familiar with this, this is a new product that came out that we are recommending for use in the treatment room, but also for home care. So this is a new 24 karat gold volumizing sheet mask. Okay. It was hard, Rachel and I, if you look at the back of this box, you're going to see, like, I can see if I could blow it up a little bit more here. There are so many, this is only just some of the amazing ingredients in here, you guys, but it contains the polylactic acid, growth factors, because again, all the products do. It has gold, retinaldehyde. So we made sure that, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with the difference between retinol and retinaldehyde, but so with the conversion process, it goes retinol to retinaldehyde to retinoic acid. And that's the part of that's the component that actually the body responds to in terms of stimulating collagen, right? So when someone starts with a retinol, for those of you who have clients still on retinols, because it's a two-step conversion to retinoic acid, it actually is more drying and sensitizing to skin. So retinaldehyde, because it's a one-step process, even though it's 11 times stronger than retinol itself, it's less sensitizing. So it's really good for sensitive skin and super effective. So we have retinaldehyde in here to help fine lines and wrinkles and help to stimulate that new collagen and cellular turnover. We again have the centella asiatica extract that we talked about for wound healing. We've got niacinamide in here. We've got our royal jelly powder again that we talked about. The Dermaclera, so this is again anti-inflammatory, great for wound healing, antibacterial. You're going to start to keep seeing this theme of like great for everybody, right? Which is really awesome. Couple extra really great ingredients. We got the cassia cinnamon bark. We've got snow mushroom for hyperpigmentation with the natural form of kojic acid, propolis. We've got great again for calming skin, anti-inflammatory. Again, all of our growth factors are listed out. So very clean, no artificial fragrance. One of my favorite things, I'm going to back out here a little bit. One of my favorite parts of this is that each mask contains 30 mLs, which is 1 ounce. And for those of you, because a lot of us are in America here, we're not as familiar with the metric system. So if you want to make a note, 30 mLs or milliliters equals 1 ounce. So please write that down, because sometimes you're going to see and you're going to be like 50 mLs. What is that? Well, 60 mLs would be 2 ounces, right? So that just helps you. So for those of you who are not as familiar with mLs, but 30 mLs is an ounce. An ounce is a lot of product, right? So for these sheet masks, you can use them. Let's just say you did the needle-free filler facial on somebody. You could send this home so that the client can use it for the next week. And I don't know if someone's doing something on the screen right there, so sorry. So again, you have the client can extend, kind of the treatment that you're doing. So you can actually up the price of your needle-free filler facial if you want and send one of these home. What I do is when I travel, and Rachel and I travel, is we cut one of these open. We keep it in the little refrigerator, and morning and night, I'm using the serum. And the serum, by the way, you guys, is very velvety. I've never really had a sheet mask like this before. A lot of times they're very watery. This one is a velvety serum. You want to put it on the skin. You want to leave it on your skin, and it's not tacky. So I'll put it on under my makeup in the morning, and I'll put it on my face at night before bed. So, and this is great for travel. Last time I traveled, I was gone to Europe. I took a couple of these with, and one lasted me for a week, and I used this day and night. So again, these are great products to retail for your clients. So even if you're using one in the treatment room and you're doing some microcurrent or something on, because these are great masks to do with Time Master Pro. For those of you who are using ultrasound with Time Master Pro, another question that comes up is what types of sheet masks can you use the Time Master Pro or ultrasound device on top of? It has to be a biocellulose mask. This particular mask is biocellulose, which means you can do Time Master Pro or the ultrasound on top of. The one other one we have at AO Medical is called Exoderm. So we have 2 masks that are suitable for that. So if you happen to use this in the treatment room, you have so much product left over, you are going to fold the sheet mask up, put it in here, send this home to the client. They may use the sheet mask one more time, but tell them you have enough product in there to use the rest of the week. Okay, so please don't throw it out. It's so much goodness in here, okay? Again, great for backbore and retail. And I would say that when you retail these, I mean, you're going to sell it for more than double what you paid, because again, they have an ounce of product in here. Okay. And when you see what's in here, it's amazing ingredients, right? So it's not just a simple, oh, it's nice, it's calming and soothing. No, it's packed with things to help stimulate new cells, collagen, help with hyperpigmentation, etc. Okay. And so we said for travel. Okay. We're just going to go use the down arrow now. Side arrow wasn't going. Okay. So you guys, we're really, really excited to share with you some new products coming up. All right. So we have been waiting for how long for a cleanser, an HOP cleanser. Most of you know that our go-to cleanser has been the Dr. Esti Moisture Cleansing Gel, because that has 5 ceramides, 5 probiotics. We love it. Big back bar, retail size. We love it, love it. But still, we have our HOP line and we're like, where's our cleanser? Where's our cleanser? Rachel and I are going to share with you. This is not, this is like our tester that we got from Lydia to try out, but it is a bubble mousse facial cleanser. So it's going to be obviously in different packaging. I mean, in terms of just a label and things like that, but I'm just going to go ahead and show you. Super frothy, mousse cleanser. So we're so excited. It smells wonderful. Again, it's going to be packed with all of our key ingredients that we want, the polylactic acid, the growth factors. It's got jojoba, aloe. It's very light. It's a gentle cleanse. And we like this because sometimes you get these anti-aging cleansers that leave a film on. But we know that after we cleanse our face and we're using the HOP products, we're going to be using quite a few products. And so you don't really want that thick film left on. So you want something that gives a really refreshing, adds some extra polylactic acid, growth factors, very hydrating, but then allows you to have enough space and want to add more products to the skin. So this one is coming out. It should be here within a month, right, Rachel? We're working on like within a month to have two guys, roughly. That's what we're shooting for. The next thing we're looking at bringing to you guys, which should be, again, available in a month or so, looks really cool. This is a new PLLA micro peel. Okay, so anybody, if they want to like in the chat or whatever you want to just say, but we have a lot of fans for the Dr. Esti goat milk peel. We use that in our needle-free filler facial, right? We love it. It's great, great, great product. So we've been waiting for one to have polylactic acid and growth factors in it. So this is going to have some really cool, this is going to have glycolic acid. It's going to have lactic acid. It's going to have gluconolactone, which is a polyhydroxy acid, and a little salicylic, but it's going to have, like I said, all of our PLLA, our growth factors in here. So when Rachel and I have used this as the, kind of, I'm going to say the guinea pigs, but trying this, okay, super plump, super hydrated. So if you love the goat milk peel, you are going to absolutely adore and fall in love with this. So this is a very cool delivery system. So actually, I'll just put a little here, guys. So it pumps out like this. It looks like a little injector. So you're getting the theme here, right? So goes on, super decadent. You're going to leave it on a couple minutes like you do the goat milk peel and then rinse. Okay. So they're going to be coming in a series of a few of these. We're also going to call it the weekend peel. So it's going to be the micro peel / the weekend peel is like the tagline. So this is going to be something that will be sold retail, but then also they're going to have larger set for you guys to use back bar for your clients. And so this is the one I believe Rachel and I are going to be obviously incorporated into the needle-free filler facial protocol when this comes out as well. And then also, last but not least, you guys have been asking for quite a while for HOP samples. So we're waiting for sample packets to come, probably within a month. And I think it's for about 5 products, Rachel, 4 or 5 products total, like the Cavi, the repair cream, the eye cream. So we're going to have these HOP samples available for you guys. So we're really excited for that. Okay. Here we wanted to just show you a few before and after pictures, and this is going to be for of people just using the home care products. So the bottom left is our mother, and this is her using the Cavi PLLA, the Promoter Repair Cream, the moisturizer, and the eye cream. So the Cavi, the eye cream, and the repair cream for about 3 months. This was not using any needle-free filler facial, no treatments. Can you see the amount of, and this is 3 months. She looks pretty different after 3 months. So we wanted to show you guys that even if you have clients that are not getting the needle-free filler facial and they're just on home care, they are going to have tremendous results. And remember, 65% plus in terms of the amount of results that your clients are going to get, 65% of that is going to come from what they're using at home. So if actually I have a client that can't come to me for treatments, I would rather, if they have a limited budget, I would rather have them on home care. And the idea is this, guys. You want your clients to get maximum results. Those are your walking billboards, right? Those are your people that are doing the referrals, people saying, my gosh, what are you doing? So if you can only have a client come in once every couple months for a treatment or once every 3 months, but you can have them on 1 or 2 products that'll last them longer, they're going to get that cumulative result. That's what I aim for. Okay. And then Rachel, was this a couple weeks, a few weeks, and then a couple months? Do you want to unmute for your middle client and the last client?
Is that what you're asking? The middle client is 3 weeks, the middle one, and then 2 months, the third one.
So you can see, again, because she's getting a plumping, an increase of collagen, you will see the automatic lifting.
Yep. And these were some of my first clients, and these were great selling tools. I'd say to people, look at what I'm getting with these clients. Look at these results. Let me give you a 5-day sample. And I would do it. And they all came back and wanted it. It's been a really profound product, and actually product line in my business, and Lynn's as well.
Mm-hmm. And so remember, those of you who are working with us in our private Facebook group, you guys can use are before and after pictures until you have your own. So just remember that, okay? Because you don't need a lot of them. But if you could show a client like, hey, this is what it does just being on home care. And the thing is, and I'm not trying to like dismiss things like retinol and stuff, but I'm going to tell you that when we were selling products before and ingredients, right? You'd be like, well, ideally, like, you know, a retinol would stimulate collagen and would, you know, blah, blah, blah. But this actually, the clients will see visible, noticeable difference 1 week, 2 week, 3 week, 4 week, 2 months, 3 months. They will see significant improvement in collagen through no matter where they're putting it. Okay. So that's what's really, really huge. And that's what's, I think, such a game changer for Rachel's and my business with this product line, because nothing that we've used all these years has really delivered this type of result consistently with all the clients that we've used it on. And then Rachel, the last gal, what product and then how long?
So this was one of my first, also the one on the right, and she was on the Cavipla, which is the one that Lynn talked about that had the oxygen native delivery system for driving that PLLA and the ingredients deeper into the skin. And this was 2 months. And we used also the promoter repair eye. So that's what Lynn talked about, adding volume to under the eye area. So could never have found an eye cream that actually could add back volume underneath the eyes. And I know that injectables are extremely hard to do for doctors. So there really weren't a lot of options. So this was pretty profound. And then Lynn, I wanted to say too, that Cavi was one of the first products that I personally tried in my practice. And that just blew me away. That I remember calling Lydia and saying, okay, why do I need a moisturizer? Why do I need the moisturizer? She's like, try it. I'm like, okay. So I kind of try things slowly, you know, before I convert. And so I bought the Promoter Repair Moisturizer and tried it on my clients, and they fell in love with that. And I hadn't even sampled them the Cavipla yet. So I was sold and they were sold. So now that anything that comes out now new, they're just like biting at it because they know it works. And so it's pretty exciting.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to give you guys, and for those of you, again, getting the deck. So for those who have hopped on, we have new people in here. If you put your full name and your email address, we'll get you the slide deck here. If you want to screenshot this, you can do that too. So I wanted to put together with you the daily regimen that you would suggest to your clients for morning and evening. Is you notice in the bottom, I asterisked, because if technically the things that I put an asterisk by, if a client wants to really get to where they want to go faster, they can use those products twice a day. Okay. So morning is going to be cleanse, moisture repair cream, eye lip cream, stem cell mist, and then your SPF, right? Okay. Evening, cleanse, daily skin prep. That's the refining. And remember, you're always going thinnest to thickest. HOP, the Cavi serum, let that bubble up. And remember, and by the way, I forgot to mention this. The Cavi PLLA is known as the serum. Okay. I should have mentioned that because a lot of you guys, your clients understand the word like toner, moisturizer, serum, right? Eye cream. So the Cavi PLLA is their serum. That's what takes the place of serum. And again, for those of you who have things like, you know, vitamin C and stuff, you understand now that a lot of these products do contain all your vitamins as well. However, there is a place and time when, let's say you have somebody that you know, they want an extra for hyperpigmentation. Sure, you can add a separate, like the Dr. Esti Vita C ampule, but most of your skin issues and conditions are going to be covered with this line. Okay. So then you've got your Cavi, you've got your repair moisturizer, your eye lip, and your stem cell mist. That's your evening regimen. Okay. So now we're going to go to, this is the Hevatox line. I am going to do a slide right after here to show you where you layer this in for those of you who want that. And when you get the slide deck, because I know several of you have your clients using both the Hevatox products along with the HOP products. So the Hevatox products, think of HOP again, you guys, as filler, your filler line, your collagen building line, your plumping, your volumizing line, right? The Hevatox, same manufacturer, TOV, the 3 products that we have, because they have the topical neurotoxin, they're all about tightening and firming. Again, synergistically, when a client's aging, they're going to need support with volume and tightening and firming. Okay, so they layer well together. But because the technology here is so different, we're going to have a separate class where I'm going to teach you guys a deep dive into what topical, well, actually neurotoxin in general in the use of cosmetic sense over the last so many years, medical and cosmetic. I'm going to also teach you guys about when topical neurotoxin came into the market and what makes the Hevatox product line different and how do you market it. So we're going to do a separate class on this so the classes don't get crazy long. So just mark your calendar for that. So I wanted to still mention it here because your clients are going to probably, many of them are already using them and working with the HOP products, but we want to let you know that we have a special standalone class that we are going to be discussing this in depth, not just the products, but also how this works, questions, is it getting into the bloodstream, blah, 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 because these questions come up and we want to answer your questions. Okay. So now we have the daily regimen and the PM regimen if your clients are including the Hevatox products along with the HOP products. So essentially what you're going to do, and again, I put this for morning and night because again, if somebody wants to increase the firming and tightening, they're going to use it twice a day. At the minimum, they're going to use it in the evening. But to make this easier, I did the daily regimen for the morning and the night, almost the same with the exception of you'll see the sunscreen is daytime, not in the evening, right? But I wanted to show you that you can incorporate those products and how they're sandwiched in. So let's just look at the evening just for ease of this. You'd cleanse. Then the skin prep, you would actually pump a little bit of the skin prep and a little tip with the exfoliating pads. The exfoliating pads, they're 60 in a container. You're going to have the client cut them in half because unless they're going to use it for full face, neck, décolleté, and hands, full face and neck, a half a pad's fine. So you would take a little bit of your skin prep, pump a little bit on the pad, put it on the skin. Then you're going to apply the Cavi PLLA, let it foam up, bubble up, massage it in. Then you're going to add the gold ampule, the Hevatox gold ampule, a small amount. It's about a pea size maximum. Then you're going to put the repair cream, the eye lift cream, whether you're doing whichever eye. Again, for me, I'm using both because I need the volume, but I also want the firming and tightening. Okay. And just another little tip for those of you who are using the Hevatox ones, I'll talk about it in a couple of weeks, but I love to put it in my 11 lines as well, because I put extra. So again, I have 3 products that I'm using to help with those 11 lines, and then your stem cell mist. Okay. Sampling equals selling. Okay. I am going to go back and just this is not going to be long, but I'm going to go back and just give you a little idea tip. We do have a video in our private Facebook group. And I think Rachel, also Lydia has shared it with you guys. I think it's even on maybe the website right now. And I think Lydia sent it out via email, how to sell and how to sample the sun cushion. So you guys can purchase on Amazon, these little latex free wedges. Okay. Look like this. You just type in latex free wedges. You get like 100 pack. They're pretty inexpensive. Okay. Because we have the sun cushion, it is not something that you can send home with the client as a sample. So the best way to sample is to sample after your treatment. So what I'm going to do is if they're a first-time client and I'm introducing them to the sun cushion, I usually wait till they actually come out, unless you have a nice lighted area in your treatment room. But my natural lighting is out here in my waiting area. So I am going to put enough product on the pad. I am going to do half of their face. I'm going to show them in the mirror and they're going to be like, whoa, that's amazing. Really, they are. And you're going to make sure you went under the eyes. You kind of evened all the skin tone. I'm going to flip the pad over. I'm going to put more on the pad and I'm going to give it to them to apply to the other side of the face. I do that for twofold. One is, first off, you showed them, like the difference before and after. But second, you want the client to see how easy it is to apply. So right now, you gave the client not only an experience, but you had them sample the product. Because if you just put this on the product in the treatment room and they came out, how do they really know like the before and after? Because they didn't see it because you just put it on and put it on right in the treatment room. But if you actually just apply to half the face, show them with the mirror, and then have them apply the second side of the face, this will sell. This will fly off the shelf faster than anything. Okay. So that is one tip with how to sell this, this product. And it's amazing. Okay. Next is what we're going to do with clients. And let me just see if I have one here. I think I left it in the other room, but I'm going to sell. We have it in our Facebook group. And if anybody wants more information, you can go and get on Amazon, little 3 ml and 5 ml they're plastic containers. Okay. 5 ml, 3 ml. For a 3 ml, I'm going to sample, if I want to sample a little bit of an eye cream, I don't fill that whole 3 ml up. I'm probably only giving a third of it. So maybe 1 ml, right? A little bit in there. But my two products that I sample the most, and I'm going to tell you why this is important. Like Rachel said, once your client is hooked on one or two of the HOP products, when you have a new product that comes or a product that you're like, hey, I want you to be on the daily refiner, it's going to help with exfoliation, it's going to help with hyperpigmentation. They don't need to be sampled that anymore. They're sold. Okay. So the two products that we sampled home care is the Cavi PLLA and then the Promoter Repair Moisturizer. That's why it's also nice to have the large size of the Promoter Repair Moisturizer, because you can have it for sampling. Okay. So I tend to have the little one for acne oily and the large one for the normal dry. The normal dry one is the one that I use with the needle-free filler facial, and I use it on most of my clients. And the acne oily is mostly what I just use for home care. So I have that available for some clients. So when I'm sampling the Cavi PLLA, I'm going to put about 5 ml, which is full 5 ml in there. That's enough to last them about 5 days. I will tell you that in 5 days, whether you're giving them the moisturizer or the Cavi, they will see the difference. They will. Now, when I'm doing the moisturizer, I'm going to give them a full 3 ml. So again, my goal is to give them enough to last them for about 5 days. If it's a client that's a really good client, you want them to have both, you can, but you can give them one or the other and they're still going to have a phenomenal experience. Okay. So that is the number one way to sell retail, is to give them a sample, but you don't have to sample all 5 products, all 6 products. You don't have to do that. Okay. So be targeted, conscientious. What does your client need the most? Okay. So if they need a lot more moisturization, you're going to go with this. If they need a lot more volume, you'll start with the Cavi, because that one is the most amount of polylactic acid. So I do tend to at times sample the sunscreen, especially because I had other product lines and I wanted to bring them over to this line. So if you have a client that was using something that they really, really loved, and they're a little skeptical to like jump over to a new sunscreen, for example, I will take some of my sunscreen and I'll put it in that little 3 ml and I send it home and they're like, my gosh, that was really dewy. It was awesome. And again, the selling points for this is like, this sunscreen has all your anti-aging ingredients in it. So it really can double actually as a moisturizer. If a client had to distill down to one during the day, it could actually be this to have all the polylactic acid and growth factors, right? Whereas my other sunscreens were mineral sunscreens, but didn't have all the anti-aging ingredients in there. Okay. So that helps a lot. Let me think if there's anything else. Rachel, can you think of anything else for selling? I will show you this. For those of you who are ordering from AO Medical, you can, when you're going down in your cart and you're checking out, there is a order area, a little note section. So we have now little brochures on the HOP products that are great for your customers. Okay. So you can ask and say, hey, Lydia, please include some HOP brochures or some Hevatox brochures. So sometimes I'll sample my client and then I'll send them home with a brochure so they get to read up a little bit more. Okay. So this is going to be really helpful as a selling tool also for your clients to give a little bit more credibility. And so you don't feel like you have to. So a lot of you get a little concerned with like, I might remember everything. These are great little selling tools. Again, pretty comprehensive for the HOP line, covers all 3 Hevatox products in this brochure. I want to let you guys know that we do have, for those of you, we have people that are in here joining, working with other reps, which is great. Everyone's welcome to our education. We love supporting everybody. For those of you who either have been working with Lydia or don't have a rep or are new to AO Medical and you want to find out more, like, you know, what's involved, the accounts are free. Rachel and I have a link where we can get you guys set up for a free call, and simply put in the chat if you want to call. Again, give us your email and we'll do that with you guys. Okay. But for people that are working with us and using our code Esti Sisters, you're welcome to join our private Facebook group where we have the before and afters, written protocols, videos, demos, etc. So we have a lot of support for you guys. So I think, and for those of you who are working with us, you probably can put in chat. Rachel and I feel like we try to over deliver on the education and support, because we know as sole providers ourselves, we know what we want. We know what we need, which means we know what you guys want and what you need. And if there's ever something that, you know, we just didn't think about or whatever, you know, most of you guys know who are working with us that we're here for you. We have your back. So that's what this group is for. So we just wanted to let you know this. So if you're not in our group or if you don't have an account and you want to get it, let us know in the chat. Everything's being recorded. And so we will go ahead and reach out directly to you. Okay. and we'll come back and then we're going to answer questions. So now Rachel's going to be looking in chats.
Okay, the age group specifically for these products.
So like we said initially, you know, when you think about California where they're doing topical neurotoxin at 18, you may have a client that is really young, depending on what state you're in, and they're like concerned about anti-aging already at age 20, right? So you could start with one product. You could just start with like the moisturizer or minimum the sunscreen, right? Everybody needs a sunscreen. I mean, to be honest, if I'm going to start a client on one product, obviously it has to be sunscreen because I don't want anybody going around, you know, if anybody's dealing, whether it's prevention, anti-aging, it's going to be sunscreen. So I would have them on one of the two sunscreens. Okay. But yeah, so really in the 20s, I would say. However, my younger clients, like even my 18-year-olds, again, I have a lot of the younger clients, the teens even, that are using the compact because if they have acne, it's acne safe, rosacea safe. So again, it depends which product. But as you get, you know, as a client gets older, that's where they're going to need, and they're going to want an eye cream, right? Or they're going to need to have some daily exfoliation. So you're going to maybe have the younger client on one product. And then as they get older, you're going to start to increase and have them on more products and more of the complete line.
Okay. Is Cavipla safe for acne prone skin?
Yes, it is.
And then the new mask, the volumizing mask, is it biocellulose?
It's biocellulose. So that's why it's going to be, you can use it with the Time Master Pro. You can use it with microcurrent. You guys can use galvanic on top of it. So if you want to increase product penetration, you're going to actually use galvanic, ultrasound, microcurrent on top of it. Okay. And remember, with ultrasound, you can only use biocellulose. So again, with AO Medical, for those of you working with AO Medical, it's going to be the 24 karat gold mask here or the biocellulose mask called Exoderm. Those are the only two that we have right now, but you can use other modalities on top of the other masks, but with ultrasound, it has to be biocellulose.
And then the new cleanser lens that we're talking about coming out in a month,
Yes.
would that be for all skin types?
Yeah, I think so. The only thing is, guys, if you have somebody that really has like a teen or somebody that's really dealing with oily acne skin, you know, and they really need the anti-aging benefit, what I use is the AC Control Mousse by Dr. Esti is still my go-to for oily acne skin. So again, this is super anti-aging, really great. But if you do, there are going to be a little tweaks here and there. If somebody is really in the throes of acne, I would definitely use the Dr. Esti AC Control Mousse. It's one of my favorites.
Okay, so how long can clients expect needle-free filler facial results to last without upkeep? So I'm assuming that's the mask, the treatment, the facial.
Yep, lasts up to 6 weeks, and it'll be more if you're doing home care, obviously, you know, because then they're constantly adding the PLLA back in.
Okay. Do you sample Hevatox? It's a good question.
Yeah, you can. I don't usually, and the reason why is because it's a cumulative effect, right? So it's slow process. So that one takes a little bit longer for the muscle to tighten and firm. So if you wanted just to see if they had an effect or liked it, but that one just takes a little bit longer for the results to materialize. So I don't tend to sample that. That being said, the eye cream, yes, I am sampling the eye cream for people. But in terms of the gold and the pads, because you're trying to do more of that firming and tightening, I haven't. But the eye cream, I am.
And the pads, I might sample them for someone that there may be a sensitivity issue. Otherwise, you know, like Lynn said, that's more of a cumulative effect.
So if you did want to sample, you probably, guys, I would just like cut a pad into like 4 pieces and then just sample them one piece and put it in one of those little containers and then sample it. And like Rachel said, more so just for sensitivity purposes. But we're going to share more tips and more offline uses for those products when we have our class in a couple weeks.
Yeah, and I just wanted to remind you guys that the Cavipla and the Promoter Repair Moisturizer are 2 of the best beginning sampling products, because once people see the effects of those, they tend to just trust anything else that you provide for them. So just throwing that out there. Okay, so Lynn, is it safe to use Cavi right after nano infusion or microchanneling?
Yeah, nano is fine. Yeah, nano is not. Yeah, in fact, I will say this. So one of my favorite things to nano is the Pileo Growth Factor ampule. In fact, we do that at the trade show. Love it. For those of you looking for a really awesome nano microneedling tool, we have it's called a Auto MTS device. Love it because I've used a cruddier device from a different manufacturer. And when we do the nano, the tips and the power in there, it's like the client feels it, you see it. Okay. So I do the growth factor ampule, and then afterwards you could put some of the Cavi serum. It's going to further penetrate those growth factors and polylactic acid. the polylactic acid growth factor ampule that we have, and again, we have some people that are new to AO Medical here, so don't freak out. We can meet with you guys one-on-one. That has the second highest amount of polylactic acid and growth factors to the needle-free filler facial. So it works really, really well partnered with microneedling and nano. The other thing post, you guys, is you can also do the sheet mask post nano or microneedling. And then you could even do like, I don't know after, depending on how deep the microneedling, but post nano, you for sure could then put this on and do either a little ultrasound or a little microcurrent or galvanic post nano with the growth factors. It would be really awesome.
Yep. And the sheet mask safe from post microchanneling?
Yes. So you guys, when you get an account, and it's a free account, for those of you who don't have an account, it's free. When you log in, you'll see all the pricing options, but I'll just talk a little bit about Cavi because this is the one that comes up. So the Cavi is our serum. This is our huge anti-aging serum. It's 4 ounces, you guys. This retails for $200. So you might be like, wow, $200 is a lot. If you're not familiar with a lot of higher end products, Rachel and I have used PCA Skin for 20 years. A lot of the serums are anywhere from $125, $145 for an ounce. Neogenesis, some of these other companies out there, $345 an ounce. Okay. So $200 for 4 ounces is actually, for what it does, affordable. Okay. So again, keep in mind that sometimes you're seeing bottles that are a lot larger and they last them much longer, of course, as well. Now, I forgot to mention that the Cavi does come in a small 1 ounce, a 30 ml size. However, it is about twice the price because per ounce. So I would rather, I don't sell the little one because my clients, I really like try to keep it, real. And I'm like, my clients, I'm like, hey, if I show them one that's 1 ounce for 100 or 90 and 4 ounces for 200, they're going to go with the 4 ounce size, but up to you. If you want to keep 1 or 2 of those in stock because your clients are like, well, I just want to try it out, or this is all the money I have right now, for sure, then have a couple of them. But most of you are going to be selling these. The same thing with the sunscreen. I almost exclusively sell the 5 ounce tube because it's 30% cheaper for them to buy the large tube than to buy the small. So you guys already know this probably, but we have to be a product of the product. So start with one product for yourself. Start with the Cavi or the moisture repair or the eye cream. When you guys see results for yourself, that's how you sell, because you know what works for yourself. Your clients are gonna be like, what are you doing? I can't even tell you how many times my clients are like, your skin's amazing, Lynn. Your skin's amazing. I'm just using the products. I mean, now lately, because I am trying new devices and stuff, but usually I'm like, we're the last people to usually get actual treatments, right? So most of my benefit is what I'm using at home. So the fact that I have crazy, amazing skin after my previous career, by the way, was selling air compressors and vacuum pumps in Latin America. And I used to lay out on the equator, I kid you not, with like no sunscreen. Okay. That was in my 20s. So the fact that when I got into skincare in my 30s and I had to I was shocked to realize what I had done to myself. Right. But I mean, the fact that people compliment me on my skin is a testament to the products that I'm using. So I just want to say, be a product, the product. And there's no minimums, by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar with AO Medical, no minimums. You could buy one product, just buy one product and try it and then see what you think.
Okay. What are example names of high-end serums for cross-referencing when explaining to clients the HOP line? Very few. Go ahead, Lynn.
Yeah, very few, because I don't know of any other biostimulator out there. Okay. So the thing is, again, you're going to hear products and ingredients like retinol. So what do retinols do? Or exfoliants? They tear down, wear down, and ideally are supposed to stimulate one's own collagen. This actually contains a known, for many, many years, biostimulator that actually will plump and stimulate collagen. So I don't know of a competing line for this at all. I don't know of any. Just like when we talk about the Hevatox with topical neurotoxin, there is no competing line. If your clients are used to like a hyaluronic acid, right? Or they're used to something with niacinamide or Agilene or whatever, remember that a lot of these products have those things in there, or the vitamin C's, right? So because these, or snow mushroom, because our products contain, HOP products contain so many of what those other products have, you're usually taking care of that. Because I know sometimes people say this, they're like, well, how do I fit this in when my clients are already using blah, blah, blah. So then what I ask, and we're willing to help on a call too, and I would love to hear, because I know everybody uses different lines. So if you say, hey, Lynn, we're using Glymed, we're using PCA or whatever, how would we fit this in? Basically, what I want to know is, well, the products that you're carrying, what are you carrying them for? What are the ideal results? What are you trying to get? And chances are one or two of these products are going to like straddle and actually take care of several of the other products you have. Well, why does that benefit you? First off, when you guys, one of the things that I love to talk about, and if you haven't seen my video on maximizing profitability, it's all about minimizing expenses and having, you don't want products sitting on your shelf unnecessarily, right? So if you can minimize the products you have, which means you can now buy in more bulk, right? And you have a higher turnover. So I have fewer products on my shelf that are able to go and work with almost everybody. So that's a benefit for us. So again, if you have a client that's like, well, I'm used to using a vitamin C, I will tell you that vitamin C is in several products. So it's already being covered. Vitamin B, the niacinamide. So again, there's not really anything that directly compares, but if you let us know, like you have products that have, like we said about the sodium hyaluronic acid, it's already in a few of these products. So you're already getting it in several products. They wouldn't need like a separate standalone, if that helps.
Yeah. And those of you that have to hop off and we may not get to your questions, can you please note that the estisisters.com, estisisters.com, you can schedule a free phone call with us.
Or sign up for a free account.
Sign up for a free account there. You can do book a discovery call. So we're here for you. This isn't just a one-time thing. So just don't feel like you're, if we don't answer your question, okay, if you have to hop off. Okay. So let's see. Can you briefly run through how to use the exfoliating pad? I know you added some products onto the pad.
Okay. So we're going to talk about this in 2 weeks, the Hevatox one, but the exfoliating pad in and of itself, you'd cut it in half, and after you've cleansed, you can just put this on, right? It's exfoliating. It's two-sided exfoliate. However, if somebody is using the skin prep because they want the snow mushroom for the hyperpigmentation support and more the hydrating support, they would simply take half of the pad. You would pump one pump of the skin prep on it. It's going to absorb into the pad, and then you're going to put it on like that and then flip the pad over.
Yep.
Actually pretty easy. And we have a video, Rachel, we have it in our group as well,
yep.
Before Rachel doing the whole protocol.
And then you do need a business license to sign up with AO Medical. So whether that's you're running a spa, whether you're an esthetician, whether you're
doctor, nurse,
working with someone. Yeah. So you have to do that. And again, at the estisisters.com, there is that sign up. I think Lynn mentioned about we do LED during the filler facial or not. You can, right, on top while the mask is dry.
I will mention another one. I mean, we talk about this. We have a whole video in our demos and stuff on the needle-free filler facial again. But for those of you who have the O2 Derm oxygen treatment, I love using my oxygen dome over the needle-free filler facial. I charge an extra $50 add-on. So the client is getting that extra anion and oxygen benefit, and they love it. And I wasn't sure at first, but the mask dries perfectly fine under the 92% oxygen. So if anybody is using the O2 Derm oxygen, $50 add-on, they're laying there, they're in heaven. And by the way, you don't have to worry about doing so much massage then, because they're like out to lunch. They're sleeping under that thing. So they're happy.
Yep. We have already mentioned a couple times the two products we recommend to retail first would be the Cavipla, the CAVIPLLA, and the Promoter Repair Moisturizer. Those are two of the beautiful products that deliver pretty awesome immediate results. After treatment for HOP pilia treatment, what home care do you recommend in between, and how often? After the
mask. Pretty much any of the HOP products. So that's going to help to extend the results because you're constantly putting more polylactic acid into the skin, which is phenomenal. So whether they're on a couple products, whether they're on the whole line, whatever you decide to do with your clients, whatever they need, that's what we recommend. After the one I shouldn't say downtime, this is not really focused on the needle-free filler facial, but the only thing that you let your clients know, since I just want to mention it, is that they're not going to wash their face for 12 hours post needle-free filler facial. So that they would start their daily regimen the next day. And that's what you do.
Okay. Good sheet mask for after dermaplaning.
Oh,
hello.
I love the 24 karat gold. Again, it's so soothing. And the benefit, you guys, is that you have an ounce of product in there. So bump up your price enough, include that mask, send it home, and they get to use for the next several days. So your clients I'm just telling you, for those of you who are in here and want to like vouch and put in the chat, but this has been a game changer for so many of you because the clients have not seen results like this. I've had clients come in, and say, before you, I've never had a real facial. I've never had home, like just the results they're getting is very different. So it's really an exciting thing. So anyway, yeah, post dermaplane, almost post any kind of treatment. This is going to be really calming and soothing.
Where can I get the Q&A? I'm not sure if that means for the needle-free filler facial, but if so.
Yeah. So for those of you who are working with us in our private group, we have it in there. And anytime, by the way, anytime you're in the private group, for those of you in the search, type Q&A, type needle-free filler facial, type HOP, whatever. You'll see all the related posts that pop up with the videos, the protocols, things like that. Because I know a lot of people ask the questions, but if you search, you'll see a lot of things come up and probably things that you weren't even aware of. Yeah, so we have a Q&A that we've done for the Esti Sister group. It's a whole, like almost an hour where I think I went through 30 questions because people would always ask, like, can I do microcurrent? Can I dermaplane? You know, different tips and tricks for doing the needle-free filler facial. That's going to be really helpful for you guys.
Good. Talk about students and getting an AO Medical account.
So you have to have your license. So if someone's interested in that, reach out to Rachel and myself because we're working with a lot of people ahead of time trying to give you guys some education and information prior to getting the account. So when you get your license, you can then get an account right away. So Rachel and I are willing to work with you guys to help with education and support prior, just to let you know. So just reach out to us. If you are a student, then just, if you haven't already done this, I know there's some students we've already talked to, but just put your name in the chat and just say student, would like to connect. And we'll take care of that for you. Someone asked about dropship. I can just mention that really quick. So for drop shipping, so right now there is the ability to do that. However, that's going to stop soon. But one of the reasons why I recommend not drop shipping you guys is because with AO Medical, first off, when you have an order that's $200 or more, you have free shipping. When you have an order that's $500 or more, you get free products, free gifts. Okay. So if you drop ship, a lot of times you're doing these small orders, right? Drop ship. So you're paying the shipping and you're never maximizing and getting the free gifts. So a little tip, and if Rachel wants to type this in the chat for people, consider getting something called an account. It's an inexpensive account with stamps.com. And I pay, I think it's like $4 or $5 a month. Rachel and I pay. It allows you to ship up to 15 shipments a month. And you save 40 to 50% on USPS and UPS. So if your shipment is less than a pound, you're going to use USPS. If it's over a pound, you're going to use UPS. So don't leave any money on the table. You could even charge your clients for a couple bucks, you know what I mean, for the shipping. But it's so much worth it for you guys to get the free shipping and to get the free gifts. Trust me on that. It is. So we see this happen a lot where people might be shipping, 5, 6, 7 drop ships of like less than $100 and they're leaving all of that free stuff and that free money on the table. So again, stamps.com, very easy. I go on Amazon and I buy bubble mailers in small boxes. And then you guys can either printing labels just on your printer. And by the way, you can get some really nice printers for like $100. Okay. And you can also get little shipping labels if you want. But if you don't want to do that and you're not super high tech, you print your label on paper, fold it up, tape it, and then just send it. So that is what I would recommend for you guys versus the drop ships. Now, if it was another company that you're not getting the extra free gifts and free shipping, of course, go ahead and do that. But with AO Medical, it's different. You definitely are leaving too much money on the table if you're doing a lot of drop ship. We are at the trade shows, Palm Beach, Las Vegas, and we'll probably go to Long Beach again next year. Those are our main shows. And then online coming up, we have in 2 weeks, we're going to be doing the topical neurotoxin Hevatox. We're going to do a repeat of the Dr. Platon cold plasma. So for those of you who missed that and wanted to get continuing ed certs for that, we did a deep dive into what cold plasma is, how it works, and we did a demo. We're also going to be doing a class after the trade show for Dr. Esti products that we love, particularly ones that are focusing on hyperpigmentation and acne and impaired barrier. Because like I said, there are select products that if we need to be really specific and drill in, there are some Dr. Esti products we really love to use for retail. And then also we want to do a class on the V-line facial because that's the one that we really love to alternate with the needle-free filler facial. So we're going to do a class. We have a demo already, but I want to do a class to talk more about the technology and how that facial works. So if you guys have other ideas of what you want us to educate on, let us know that as well. And again, for those of you in the group, Rachel and I have done classes that are recorded on rosacea with protocols, on impaired barrier rosacea, acne, melasma hyperpigmentation, So we do have these different in modalities. So for those of you interested in working more with modalities, we have a class called Modalities Medley. So again, lots of different classes are available for you guys. And again, everything's recorded. So if somebody can't make one, don't freak out. It's available. And if somebody needs special help, again, schedule, we call it a discovery call, but really it's a call with us. So on our website, theestisisters.com, there is a place to schedule a call. And so you can go on, they're free, and schedule a call with us. So if you need to go through like, hey, I'm trying to place an order, or hey, I'm using these products from different company and I'm trying to figure out, not so I don't have overlap, or how would I fit that in, or how would I replace something, or how would this, work or something, you can schedule a call with us and we will help. Okay, so thank you, everyone. I'll just give it another minute before I stop recording in case anybody has puts any other comments in the chat. We love feedback. So if you guys want to let us know, like Rachel said, what you thought of the class, so all that'll be captured on the recording. So we thank you guys for your time tonight on this Sunday and hope you have an awesome week.